One of the most common questions in paper 1 Edexcel IGCSE chemistry is the calculation of water of crystallization by heating hydrated salts to get the anhydrous one and collect the water of crystallization. They will usually provide you with experiment like the one in front of you here, where there are tube A and tube B. In tube B, the tube A, they add the hydrated salt and they heat it to get rid of the water of crystallization, which collects in tube B here using the ice, which condenses the water. In this experiment, they provided you with the mass of the tube at the beginning of the experiment, tube B, which is the empty tube, and then the mass of tube B at the end of the experiment, which is the mass of the tube along with all the water of crystallization. From this table, we can find the mass of water of crystallization first, which is going to be the difference between these two. So 22.1 minus 15.8, so that will give you 6.3 gram water of crystallization. The question is now, they're gonna ask you to calculate the water of crystallization of the value of X, or how many moles or how many of the water of crystallization per mole of the hydrated salt. So they told you that the mass of the anhydrous magnesium sulfate remaining at the end is 6 gram. And we calculated the mass of the water of crystallization, which is 6.3 gram. So they ask you to use the mass, which we just calculated, and the results in the table. So the mass they gave you 6 gram, and the results in the table to calculate X in MgSO4xH2O. So the first thing is the mass of water, which we calculated. So this is 6.3 gram. Now we need to find the molar ratio between magnesium sulfate and the water in the hydrated salt. So moles of the sulfate of sodium, moles of magnesium sulfate will equal mass over MR. So mass over MR. So that's 6 over 120. This is the MR of magnesium sulfate, and that gives you 0.05 moles. And then moles of water as well, we're going to do the same. So mass over MR, so 6.3 gram over 18, and that will give you 0.35 moles. Now we need to find the molar ratio. To find the molar ratio, you will divide to these two values by the lowest one. So you're going to convert the magnesium sulfate into 1 and then find how many moles of water are there with 1 of the magnesium sulfate. So the ratio between magnesium sulfate molar ratio to water will be 1 to 7. When you divide this by 0.05, that will give you 7. So the molar ratio is 1 to 7. So the value of X here is 7